Hello. Hi, Lynn. Good morning. Stevie, good morning. How are you? Hope you had a nice week off. I did. All right. So what's going on, ladies? What would you like to know? Or, hi, Michael, how are you? Anything popping up lately for anyone in terms of physical issues or even other issues, right? Because we're not just a physical person. If you haven't had a chance already, please listen to my podcast, Stronger Bones Lifestyle Podcast. It's amazing, these people that I'm getting to interview. Stronger Bones Lifestyle Podcast. And although, Michael, I use the word women often or ladies, it doesn't mean it's not for men. It's just that that's mostly who is in my world. So I speak to a lot of ladies, and 80% of the women, 80% of those diagnosed with osteoporosis are female. So it just happens to be that the majority of people with these ailments, although for all of us, we all have bones, we all need to be healthy and happy as we age. So listen to that. I've got some great speakers and even more that I'm interviewing. So it's really been so fun for me to do this podcast. And then if there's anything in particular you want to know about or anyone in particular you'd like to hear from, I would love to reach out to them. So anyway, all right. Well, if there's nothing to report or ask, then I think I'll go to my post and get started. Cold symptoms. Cold as in a flu cold. So a few things about that, Lynn, I would say are, and I'm thinking you're meaning cold as in sickness. So here's what I would say. One thing is that the lungs are one of the most important aspects of keeping our internal environment in the right pH level. So it's very supportive of detoxification. It's also great for lungs and keeping lungs flowing, bringing in oxygen, which is important for energy production, not just for you to feel energetic, but for your cells to have energy to heal and repair and get better if you are managing a cold or something like that. So breath and especially extended exhalations, cannot say enough about that. And then from a dietary perspective, making sure you're eating the nutrients and that you have a healthy gut to absorb those nutrients so that you have the building blocks of health internally, whatever that purpose is. So those would be my comments. Gentle movement with yoga to get things flowing, to support lymphatic movement, that would be important as well. More focusing on stretching and really more gentle practice so you don't utilize too much internal body energy. When I'm sick, I turn to greens, like green smoothies. I put a lot of greens in my soups. I will make bone broth, so I'll make chicken bone broth because I don't eat beef. Or use some kind of supplemental powders that are really nutrient dense. So those would be nice suggestions for cold, if that's what you meant, cold. Not meaning cold as in freezing, cold as in cold symptoms. So if that's what you meant, okay, but then if you meant cold as in cold symptoms like your cold hands and cold feet, then I'm going to say there could potentially be thyroid stuff going on. If there's thyroid stuff going on, that's metabolic. So then you've got to have a healthy internal environment for everything to work in harmony and to be balanced. So hopefully that answers the question. I got asked a really interesting question yesterday. I have a live group right now, Healthy Gut, Healthy Bones group. And I got asked a super interesting question yesterday that I really want to make a comment about. Let me check this light is not on. So I got asked a really interesting question last night. Whenever, if you have anything like any bacterial overgrowth, something called SIBO, small intestinal bowel overgrowth, you've got to be careful with taking certain, feeding it and supplying nutrients to it. So in some cases, it's not recommended to do probiotics or to minimize probiotics or to use a certain strain of probiotics if you have SIBO when you're managing that. So the question came up about H. pylori, which is a bacteria in the stomach. And should we, if it consumes certain nutrients, should we be feeding it those nutrients? And so it was just a really interesting question, because then I said, well, how do we know when it's full, when the bacteria is full and will not be using your stored zinc or iron stores? Like, how do we know when it'll be done with that? So just, I guess what I'm trying to say is the questions. It's really about the questions and what we're looking for and what answers do we really have? What do studies really tell us? Like, how much do we really know about what's going on inside of here? So that's something. But we do know that lifestyle contributes to a lot of them. And the practice of yoga is not just about the physical body. This practice is not just about having strong muscles and strong bones and strong joints. It is about being very supportive on a very deep level of your overall health and well-being. So this class is Yoga for Wellness. And I guess every yoga class could be called Yoga for Wellness, because yoga is for wellness. So let's get started moving our body in a real general way. Today's practice, I would like to focus a little bit more on core, posterior, and lateral chain. So really the support aspects of us, so that whatever our intention is, whatever our needs are, stronger bones, healthy aging, back health issues, knee issues, shoulders, hips, whatever you need, if you really have a nice strong core and you also have the back of your body is functional and strong, and then you work on the sides, if you bring that into the equation, those are the areas I see often that are the areas that need the most attention. So today's practice will bring a lot of that into it. For the practice today, you will need a block and a strap and a blanket. And we'll come down on the ground and try to get our posture and our alignment to start off from a real basic sense, really nice here on the ground without too much else. And when we do come on the ground, we're going to focus on the belly area, on the diaphragm. We'll use our hands on our belly for reference, and then we'll actually hug ourselves with our forearms. So at night, if I wake up in the middle of the night and I need to put myself back to sleep, this is often the position I bring myself into. So I could really somatically feel my body moving into my forearms and then my belly pressing into my hands. So I know that I'm very connected to my breath, and I'm also breathing really deep. So let's start to warm ourselves from the inside out, bring ourselves to this present moment, to the place of connection, mind, body, and soul, and really optimize the aspects of wellness in this present moment and setting our body up for success to build and repair and restore. So have your props off to the side. And then whatever you need, I have socks on today because it's a little chilly. So come onto the ground, make sure you're safe in the front of your spine, no matter who you are, but especially if you have osteoporosis, not collapsing in the front of your body, and bringing yourself down onto the ground. And then when you get onto the ground, find comfort, find the right position for yourself. So close your eyes or leave them open and allow yourself to arrive here. Move through two different positions. Either have the knees bent with the feet flat on the ground, or explore straightening the legs to see which one you prefer. And let's do a little to warm up the body to get ready for this. So bend your knees if you straightened your legs, and then draw one knee in and straighten the opposite leg. Go slow. Notice how this feels for your body. Stretching one hip flexor area on the straight leg, contracting that hip flexor area on the other leg. So just noticing here, close your eyes,
Couple of deep breaths down to your belly, especially down to where the top thigh is pressing into your belly. And we're going to switch, go slow, bending the opposite leg, straightening the opposite leg. And sometimes this is called Apanasana, knees to chest. It has a digestive aspect, digesting physical and deeper layers of you, the unseen part of you. It's used therapeutically, often in yoga therapy practices. Breathe to your belly. Try to breathe to that thigh. This can actually start to relax the low back. Take one more breath. And drive both knees into your chest. Pull them towards your belly as strong as you can. If you could clasp your hands, really drawing the legs closer, or maybe even holding underneath your hamstrings and holding onto your hands. Something to make that little compression a little stronger of the thighs pressing into your belly. Bring your awareness to your belly. As you breathe towards your belly, feel the belly pressing into the thighs. Let's add a little bit of movement with this. Keep one leg in, shake the other leg straight. Inhale. And then exhale, draw that leg closer to your belly. And then inhale, switch. And exhale, draw the leg in closer to your belly. Inhale, switch. Go slow. Try not to let your pelvis rock too much. You're going to need your core for this. Go slow. Slower is harder. Slower is more work. Pay attention to how your back feels. You need to stabilize your trunk to protect your low back. Notice if the head wants to fly away from your blanket. Lengthen the back of your neck. Press your head into the ground. Activate your core. Exhale, draw the knee closer to the chest. And then draw both knees in. A little warm up there. Take your arms overhead, knees are bent. Take an inhale. Exhale, let your legs go up towards the sky. Let your arms go down alongside your body. Inhale, arms go overhead. Exhale, legs up towards the sky. Try to keep the low back away from the ground. Feel the pressure in the center of your pelvis, warming up the hips, the knees, the shoulders, the core. Bringing some heat into your body. If two legs at the same time is too challenging, try one leg at a time. Grounding your mental energy, bringing yourself to the present moment, warming up your body deep inside. And then draw the knees to your chest. Feel the low back press into the ground. Rock across the top of your pelvis from side to side. Go pretty far from side to side if you can. Close your eyes. Feel this in your body. And then bring your feet onto the ground. Take your arms out to the side. Heels on the mat, toes are off. Inhale, let your legs go towards one side. Close your eyes, feel this in your body. Exhale back to center. Inhale to the other side. And exhale back to center. Go slow, close your eyes, feel this happening in your body. Let your head go the opposite direction of your legs. Close your eyes. Make this be a moving meditation. And then bring yourself back to center. Either straight legs or bent knees, it's up to you. If you bend your knees, let your feet be wider than your body. Let your knees fall in towards each other. Then bring your arms alongside your body. Let the forearms be at the lower ribs. And then place the hands on your belly. Lift your rib cage away from the ground, pushing your elbows into the ground. Slide the shoulder blades closer to the spine. Lengthen your neck. Find this nice alignment position in your body. Feel it with the eyes closed. Mouth is closed, breathing in and out through your nose. Let your awareness go in your body, to your core, to your low back, to your hips, to your knees, noticing what you notice. Breathing in, breathing down to the lower ribs into the belly. Feel the pressure that's created with your breath. Start to breathe in into the back of your body, the lower back, the spine. Breathe down to your tailbone. And then hug your body with your arms. Feel the arms pressing into your body. Spread your fingers, lengthen the back of your neck. Press your elbows into the ground, your shoulder blades into the ground, your sacrum into the ground, your head into the ground. A couple of deep breaths here. Pressing your sacrum into the ground, your elbows into the ground, lower back is not touching the ground. Shoulder blades are pressing into the ground, center of the head, turning on the support muscles of the trunk. Feel that in your body, eyes are closed. What do you notice? And then gently let go of the breath. Let your arms relax, let your body relax. Begin to bring movement into your body, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Take yourself into a fully stretched position if that's appropriate for your body. Legs are stretched, arms are stretched. And then draw your knees into your chest, rocking side to side. And then bring your feet onto the ground, hands onto your belly. So I need to get my cat. Hi, honey. Did you want to come and practice yoga? Yes, you do. You want to do yoga. Hello, beautiful boy. This is Hamilton. I know many of you met him. I'd love to keep him in here, but he might be a little rascal. I'm gonna have to let you out, honey. I'd love to have you in here, but you're gonna be a rascal and you're gonna disrupt it. You wanna go? All right. Sorry for the inconvenience, if it was one. For me, it brings me so present moment. I think animals have a way of doing that. They just bring us right into the moment, looking at them, touching them, and then feeling these big feelings of love, which is just so lovely. So let's move on, focusing on our trunk. The movement I just had you do where you press the sacrum into the ground, we had the arms onto the ground, you're pressing the shoulder blades into the ground, the center of the head. That's the back of the body, and those are 3 reference points that can help you activate trunk muscles. You do it on the ground here, you can really feel it. And I'll tell you for my own body, because I have 1 hip replacement and 1 natural hip, there's so much communication or lack thereof in my body. So when I did that today, I could feel the position of my pelvis, that one side was not supported or it felt not supported. I started to feel some shifting in my joints, my SI joint and my lower spine. So you could actually become really great at body awareness to keep yourself healthy and figure out whatever it is you need in your body by closing your eyes, practicing and really bringing your awareness there. So let's do this now that I've mentioned that to you. The sacrum is the triangular bone that's in the center of the pelvis. So you're going to bring your awareness to your sacrum. That's 1 reference point. You have 2 shoulder blades on the back of your body. We're going to actually push our arms into the floor, the upper arms, to lift the rib cage up and slide the shoulder blades towards the spine so they are where they should be, which is in the back of your body. Then you want to make sure that your nose is pointing straight up towards the sky and not a little bit back. So you don't want this pulling up of the chest. So if we have tightness in our body, that will refer up to the upper back and neck, which is really good for us to take note of, especially if you do have shoulder issues or upper back or neck issues, that what's going on here affects what's going on here. So you have your shoulder blades now on the ground, the upper arm bones press into the ground, the heart moves up towards the sky, and then lifting your head, lengthening your neck, tuck your chin towards your chest. So the reference points are sacrum, shoulder blades, and the center of the head. When you are on the ground, or even when you're standing up, activating these structures, if you push those upper arm bones into the ground, try that now. Push the upper arm bones into the ground and see what you notice in the back of your body. Close your eyes. Push the arm bones into the ground. See if you could feel that support. There's actually an extension that comes into thoracic spine. You may notice that down in the low back. So press into the ground, see what you notice. Now let's bring ourselves to the 3 points of awareness. Sacrum, start to activate. You can push your belly towards your spine, pushing your sacrum into the ground pretty strongly. Notice if you have equal weight on right side, left side. So pay attention to that. Then bring your awareness to shoulder blades. Press the shoulder blades towards the ground. Press the arms towards the ground. Lengthen the back of your neck. Now push your head towards the ground. See what you can notice in your body here. It's a very solid structure, turning on everything. And then release. Let's do a little with core muscles to make sure that we keep all this nice and strong. So take your block, bring your block between your knees. Start to activate that center midline, pushing and squeezing into the block. It's like being a carousel pony, and on the carousel, the pony has a pole up and down the center that the pony moves up and down on. And so if you squeeze the block, you're going to feel your adductors, your inner thigh muscles, this whole center midline activation in your body. Squeeze and feel that. So this is for strong balance, for fall prevention, for protecting your low back if you're gardening or doing an activity where you're forward in your movement, turning on and bringing in the support of the core, really understanding this. Now push one side. So try to keep one side quiet and then push one knee into the block. See if you could feel that adductor, that inner thigh activate. And now the other side. So pushing the other leg in, see if you could feel the isolation of that muscle. This is good for those of you with hip or knee issues as well, or any kind of malalignment that you're aware of in your body to really separate out right side, left side. Now both. Now bring your awareness to your feet. Push your feet into the ground, toes are forward. Notice if your arches are collapsing towards the ground. And then roll on your feet towards your pinky toe edge. And then move towards trying to push the arch into the floor. Pinky toe edge. And then soles of the feet pressing into the ground. Notice if you feel that all the way up here in your inner thighs. Everything is connected. Pressing arches into the ground. Coming to the pinky toe edges. Arches, pinky toe edges. Noticing here what you're experiencing. What's happening to your low back? Push your sacrum into the ground. Push your shoulder blades into the ground. Push your head into the ground. And now move your feet. Try to push arches into the ground. Rock to the pinky toe edges. Where do you feel this in your body? And then bring yourself to stable. Take your hands behind your head. Elbows are out to the side. So I definitely feel heat in my inner thighs. I feel it one side more than the other because I do have asymmetry. With a hip replacement, there are fake parts there. So the communication is not the same as it is on my other side. My other side communicates beautifully, and this side doesn't, right? Because plastic, ceramic, and titanium are not going to communicate the way organic tissue is, bones and the nerves and the vessels that go through there. So it's really interesting. I have a lot of body awareness, and then I have this extra issue that gives me this. But I want this for you because this is how you'll keep yourself safe. This is how you'll learn how to turn on your support system for posture, for low back health, for fall prevention and balance, and for wellness and healthy aging. Arms are out to the side, let the thumbs be down on your neck. Squeeze your block. Arms are out to the side. Inhale. And then bring your awareness to your pelvic floor. So squeeze your block. Feel the inner thighs activate. Now bring your awareness up to the pelvic floor and draw inward and upward towards your belly button. Either thinking of a strand of pearls or a line of blueberries. Squeeze your block, inner thighs activate, pearls or blueberries up to your belly. Someone working with a pelvic floor PT, pelvic floor specialist, shared the blueberry analogy with me lately. And so I like that. Blueberries or a strand of pearls. Squeeze in, activate, lifting up, and then release. What's happening to your adductors, your inner thighs? Do you feel that? Get that communication. Now start to push pinky toe edges into the ground. Push your toes into the floor. Push your heels into the floor. So the pinky toe edge is where you have the pressure in your feet. And then squeeze your block. Activate your pelvic floor up to your belly button. And then soften everything. So start that communication, that kinesthetic communication. Pinky toe edges, press into the ground, grab the floor with your feet, squeeze your block, activate your pelvic floor to your belly button, and then release. Go slow. One more. Feet, knees, pelvic floor. And then release. Let's do a little pelvic floor, pelvic tilting. So you're going to inhale to soften. Exhale, flatten the low back into the ground. Activate the feet. Activate the knees. Inhale to release. Exhale to activate. Let your low back move away from the ground, but your pelvis stays on the ground. You come into extension of the lumbar curve, and then you flatten lumbar curve, activating feet, knees, pelvic floor, core. Now we're going to add more of a challenge, adding the weight of the trunk. Activate, flatten the low back, lift the upper body up, keep the nose up towards the sky. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift and activate. Inhale to lower. Close your eyes, feel this. Tip of the nose is up towards the sky. Don't crunch your belly. Don't try to, don't shorten the front of your spine. Keep it long and active, because that's what you want it to do when you're standing. So don't bring it into a different shape than where our desired goal is. Long, lengthened front spine. Come up and stay up. Stay here. Push your feet into the floor. Squeeze your block. Activate your pelvic floor, your core. Elbows out to the side, nose up towards the sky. And then inhale to lower. Bring yourself out. Take a break. Take the block out for a second. Let your knees go to the side, stretching the adductors, the inner thighs. If the low back is popping away from the ground, gently contract your core. Try to push the top edge of your pelvis towards the ground, really turning on those deep activating muscles. Long back neck. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself back up. Moving on with a little bit more core work. Let's take one knee up and then the other. Take your hands up. So we're going to do a diagonal pattern of one leg down, one arm up. Only one arm at a time moves, the other one stays stationary. The farther away you move your leg from your body, the more intense this is. And where you begin with your knees, if your knees are right above your pelvis, there's more intensity than there would be if the knees are in towards your chest. So you choose what's appropriate. You're stabilizing your trunk in order to have your knees up here and to move them away from your body. So let's begin with that part. Bring your hands down for a second. Bring your hands on top of your lower ribs. Bring your legs up and tap your toes down towards the ground slowly. Pay attention to what's happening with your core, with your trunk. Noticing the desire for the body to pop away from the ground maybe as your leg goes down. because there's a muscle attached to the low back here, the psoas. And as that leg lengthens away, that muscle is lengthening. So notice, is the low back pulling up towards the sky? Try to push your pelvis, the top back edge of your pelvis, into the floor. That'll help you really activate those core muscles. But keep the low back away from the floor. So work isometrically in a neutral trunk position. Tapping your toe down and farther away a little harder. Do what's appropriate for you. Notice what happens up here when you do this. Fingers are on the ground. Inhale to move your toes down. Exhale to contract to come back up. Do a little bit more challenge now. Take your toes off to the side and away from you. Notice what you need to manage in your trunk. Go slow. When you go off to the side, don't let your trunk sway side to side. So really work hard to balance that trunk as your legs go off to the side. One more each side. And then draw your knees in, take a break. Hold on underneath your hamstrings, draw the knees towards the shoulders, let the low back press into the ground. So even though this seems like really gentle movements, it's really deep structural core work. Bring your legs back up. Let's do that opposite arm, opposite leg. So you're going to exhale. As you inhale, one arm goes back, one foot touches down. Exhale, contract your core. Keep your trunk stable. Low back is away from the ground. Feel the sacrum. Inhale. Exhale. Go slow. Use your breath. Close your mouth, breathe in and out through the nose. Last one. Bring yourself back to center. Draw your knees into your chest. Rock across the top edge of your pelvis. And then put your feet down onto the ground. Take a rest here. Bring your hands back behind your head. Hands are back behind the head. So the blanket is only underneath your head. Don't let it be on the upper back. Let your feet be a little bit wider than your body here. Inhale. And as you exhale, let your low back flatten into the ground. Lift your head up. Point the tailbone away from you. Really come into a flexion position here in your body. And then inhale to lower. So you're undulating your spine. Roll all the way to the tip of your tailbone. Let your head press into the ground. Let your spine move away from the ground in whatever way it will. And then exhale, press your spine into the ground. The tip of the tailbone and the tip of the neck area or the crown of the head are pointing up. And then let them point towards the ground. So try to make a rainbow shape in one direction or a smiley face in one direction and a rainbow in the other. Stretching your core, moving your spine. One more. And then bring yourself down. Hands are behind your head. Let's take the block, actually, bring the block between your legs. We want to stabilize the lower body and we want to rotate the upper trunk. So thinking about everything below the ribs stays stable. And then the rotation, you lift up and then you try to twist your upper body towards the side. So try to get that rotation to be in the upper thoracic spine. Walk your feet either to touch or closer together. Squeeze the block. Inhale. As you exhale, lift your body straight up. Keep the right elbow on the ground and then guide the left elbow over towards the right. Inhale to lower. Go slow. Squeeze the block. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Last one. And then bring yourself out. Take the block to the side. Bring your knees in. Spread your legs. So the happy baby position can be nice and releasing for the low back. You need to spread your legs here. So spread your legs. Hold underneath your hamstrings. If you are able to grab onto the big toes, you could go a little deeper here. Your legs need to be spread here for this. You can't have your feet touching. So you only hold on to your toes if you could keep your legs spread far apart. You want to draw the knees towards the armpits, stretching the back of the body, letting the low back press into the ground, bringing some relief into your body in this position. And then bend your knees, put your feet on the ground. Let's stretch the legs. Take the strap. Bring a foot up. So do any side you'd like. If you have an injured side or a side that needs extra attention, do the stronger side first. Take your strap and then move your strap up and down your foot so you generate some heat in the foot. Faster you go, the more friction. Bring some heat into your foot. And then come to where the arch is. Holding on to one side with one hand, the other side with the other hand. Start to bend your ankle. So keep your legs straight. Your kneecap is pointing straight back and the kneecap doesn't move at all. And you move your foot from one side to the other, trying to face the sole of the foot up towards the sky and then pull on the strap and let the sole tilt to the side. Feel that stretch in the ankle joint. And sometimes our issues are starting in our feet. So really getting these feet nice and limber. Then bring your strap up to the top part of your foot, the widest, not on the toes, right below the toes, the widest part of the foot. And then pull the foot towards your head. Knee could be bent here. You're going to feel that on the posterior chain. The Achilles tendon, plantar fascia, Achilles tendon, gastroc, which is the calf. And then maybe even behind the knee and then down towards the hamstring. Let's inhale and then exhale, straighten your leg. Put a little bend and then straighten. Bend and straighten. Reach through the center of your heel up towards the sky. Feel that going down the whole back of your leg, stretching that back part. And then bring yourself to center. Take your leg back towards the wall behind you, stretching that even more. The farther back you go with your leg, you might start to tilt your pelvis and flatten the low back. As long as you feel it in the back of your leg, that's what we're going for. Take one more breath. And then release. Bring your other foot up into the sky. Start flossing that foot. Faster you do it, the more heat you'll generate, especially great if you have cold feet. And then come to the arch, starting to bend the foot side to side, kneecaps pointing towards this wall behind you. And then back to center. Strap up towards the widest part of your foot, pulling the toes towards you. Feel that stretch in the back of the leg. Really let that tushy, whatever side you're on, be heavy in the ground. You're going to bend that knee, inhale, and exhale to straighten. Trying to bring in as much stretch into your calf, the back of your leg. Push that leg away from you, and that'll intensify the stretch. And then bring the strap to the center of the foot. Stretching the back of the leg, push the leg away, bring the leg towards the wall behind you. Take one more breath. Bring the other foot up. Take your legs really wide. Bend your knees. Draw your knees down towards your body. Soles of the feet are up towards the sky. And draw the legs back towards the wall behind you. Using the strap to support the stretch. And bring your legs up. Bring your feet hip distance, straight legs or bent, and then draw them towards the wall behind you. Press your pelvis into the ground. Push your legs away from you. And then go ahead and release the strap. Strap down towards the ground. Keep your legs up. Point your feet and flex. Point and flex. Feel that coming into your calves. Feel that in the front of the foot, the ankles, and then circles in one direction, circles in the other. Then draw the knees into your chest, rock side to side. Put your feet onto the ground. So let's do a little spinal work here with the bridge posture. Take the blanket away from the back of the head. Take your feet straight and then bend them a little. So keep your feet pretty far away from your body. Dig your arms into the ground. Lift your rib cage up. Slide the shoulder blades closer and lift your head off. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Arms are down alongside your body. Pinky edges of the hands are in the ground. Thumbs are up towards the sky. Exhale. As you inhale, tilt your pelvis back. Try to flatten the low back into the ground. And then push your feet into the floor, squeeze your tushy, start to lift your pelvis away from the ground. Lift your left hand up towards the sky. Feel your body lifting off to about the heart level, and then let the head look towards the right. Exhale slowly, place your spine down, bring your hand back. Inhale, tilting your pelvis back, flattening the low back, lifting the right hand up, leading with the thumb, letting the head go to the left, and then exhale to bring your body down. Close your eyes. Inhale, begin with the flattened low back, peeling the spine away only to about the heart, and then let the left arm come up, head to the right. Keep moving like this. Go slow, feel your tushy, feel your spine. Push your feet into the floor, let all the toes touch. Pinky toe edge touch. Let most of the movement be the pelvis moving away from the ground. Not so much the spine, the upper back, but more about that lower body. Bring yourself back to center. We're going to do both hands. Keep the head up towards the sky. Begin by flattening the low back. Squeeze the tushy. Inhale. Let your body come away from the ground. Let your arms go overhead. And then exhale to place yourself back down. You want this mostly to be the movement in the pelvis. Push your feet in. Tilt your pelvis backwards, flattening the low back into the ground. And then you bring yourself up and away. Go slow. Feel the heat generating in the glutes and the hamstrings. Push your feet into the floor, pinky toe edges, toes are touching. Squeeze the tushy. Push away from the ground. Let the tushy come up slowly. Bringing in that functional movement of the glutes, the spine, the pelvis, and the leg bone. And strengthening the muscles that do that. Don't let your legs go out to the side. Keep your kneecaps pointing straight up towards the sky. And then one more, come up, stay up. Stay here. Arms are overhead. Feet are pushing into the ground. Kneecaps are pointing up towards the sky. And then little pulses, little tiny movements. Feel your glutes. And then bring yourself down. Walk your feet closer to your body. Walk your feet a little farther so they're about body distance, a little wider than your body. Arms are down alongside your body. Lift your head. Rock side to side so that the shoulder blades come closer to the spine. Press the hands into the ground. You want to make sure you tilt your pelvis here. So do a little tilt here before you come up. Tilting your pelvis. We really use the tushy area and the hamstrings a lot when we're doing this. Palms are pressing into the ground. Exhale. Press your low back into the ground, and then inhale to lift your body up, getting a little higher away from the ground. You feel your heart lifting away from the ground, and even the shoulder blades start to lift away from the ground. Exhale to bring yourself back down. Inhale to bring yourself up. Push your toes into the ground, pinky toe edges and the heels. Don't let your legs spread when you come up. Knees are pointing straight up. Go slow. Let those stabilizing muscles in the joints work. Do what you can do. Strengthening the back of your body to protect your low back, your pelvis, your knees, your hips. and to support balance, trunk alignment, posture, fall prevention, if those are things you want or need. Stay up the next time you come up. Close your eyes. Push your feet into the floor a lot. Don't let your legs splay open. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself down. Bring yourself wide so that your heels are either on the mat or all the way off. Wider stance. Toes could be pointing at an angle. Lift your rib cage away from the ground. Slide the shoulder blades closer to the ground. Arms are down alongside your body. Begin by tilting your pelvis back. Flatten the low back into the ground. Exhale. And then inhale to peel your spine up and away. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Try not to let your legs go cattywampus. Keep them active. Notice if they want to wobble and waver. Push your feet into the floor. Push your heels into the floor. Peel your spine up and away. Very helpful for those of you that need to feel more secure with your balance for fall prevention. These are great movements to strengthen those aspects of your body. Next one, you're going to come up and stay up. Push your feet into the floor. Bring your weight to your feet. Push your toes in, pinky toe edge, and then really push those heels into the ground. Center of the heels. See if you could feel that up in your glutes. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself slowly down. Bring the blanket back underneath your head. Bring your knees into your chest. Let's stretch the glutes because we worked them. Take your right lower leg over the left lower leg. Lift your body up, reach around the outside and take hold of the feet. Then try to spread the feet away from each other. And then pull the legs down towards your body. Bring your head back down onto the ground. Feel that stretch in the glutes. And let's come to the other side. So the right leg's on the top. We're going to switch. Left leg is on top. Taking a hold of your feet, drawing your knees towards your chest and rocking side to side. And then bring your feet onto the ground. Let's come onto the side. Take your hand onto the ground. Push yourself away from the ground. Bring yourself up. And get your blanket. Bring your blanket onto the mat. Let's stretch the body. Take your hands wide and forward, bending your hip joint a lot. Spread your fingers, move side to side. stretching the glute area, stretching the side hip area. Keep your head active, heart pressing towards the ground. Bring yourself back to center. Then bend your hips a little more. Bring your forehead to the ground. Inhale to come up. Coming into a back bend. Exhale back. Moving in a way that feels appropriate for your body. Spread your hands. Try to feel the stretch coming into the front of the body and into the belly. And then you're stretching your spine. And then bring yourself all the way up. So we're going to stretch the belly because we did a lot with the core. So really stretching here, especially from the lower ribs to the pubic bone, where this whole part of your musculature is attached to the pubic bone down here, lower ribs up here. So we're going to move through up dog and puppy dog. Keep your pointer fingers are forward. Your knees are about hip distance. And then bring your pelvis towards the ground, really stretching that belly area. And then bring yourself up, tushy back, bend your hips, keep your head active, bring your forehead towards the ground. Inhale to come forward. Let your chin lift up to deepen the stretch in the belly. Stretching the glutes when you move back, stretching the belly when you come forward. And then bring yourself all the way up. Come all the way out for a second. So either in a kneeling position or crisscross position, whatever feels appropriate for you, take a break. Catch your breath, close your eyes, tap into your body, noticing what you notice. And open your eyes. We'll do the plank posture, which is great for strengthening our body. So coming on to whatever variation you would like. So the natural plank or the full plank is pointer fingers are forward, spread your hands, and then you take one foot back and then the other. And if you need the modification, put your your shins and your knees on the ground. Bring your awareness to your feet. Really push through those heels, center of the heels. Make sure that the pinky toe edges are pressing into the ground and all 5 toes on both feet. Push your feet into the floor and see if you could feel like you're dragging your feet up towards your chest. And go slow so you feel that deep activation. Then bring your awareness to your fingers. Press all 5 of them in, especially the pointer finger and the thumbs. Push your hand into the ground. Push the part where your fingers attach to your palms. And then try to slide your hands back towards your feet, slowly. Push away from your hands, push away from the ground with your feet. And then try to slide them towards each other. Last few breaths. And then bring yourself down. Come all the way down into whatever resting position you like to catch your breath. Catch your breath, feel your heart, close your eyes, lift your heart.
And then open your eyes. Take your hands, shake your hands, open up your hands, bend your wrists. Circles in one direction. So this last position we're going to come into is really challenging. I'm going to give you a couple of options. You could either come into Vasisthasana side plank, which is very, very challenging, or you could do the modification, a half moon, where you have your leg on the ground and do that. So we're going to strengthen the lateral chain. I would say 3 breaths if you can, and if not, that's okay. We're going to do both sides. So take the pointer fingers forward. Take one foot back and then the other. The feet are touching. And then lift your pelvis up, roll onto the pinky toe edge. Start your breaths. And then to come to the other side, toes are together. Lift your pelvis, roll onto the pinky toe edge. Arm is up, 3 breaths. Long spine. Bring yourself down. Coming into a position that's resting for you to catch your breath. Close your eyes. Breathe in and out through your nose. Let your heart settle. Open your eyes. Let's stretch the neck. Let's look side to side. Keep your body straight. Use the breath. Inhale to look over one shoulder. Exhale back to center. Inhale the other shoulder and then back to center. Bring yourself back to center. Let one ear go straight up towards the sky, back to center. And then the other ear straight up towards the sky, back to center. Bring yourself back to center. Teeth are together. Inhale, and then exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, chin up towards the sky. Chin to chest. And then chin up towards the sky. Bring yourself back to center. Close your eyes. Let your awareness go up and down your body, noticing what you notice. Noticing if the practice today was appropriate. And then open your eyes. You'll know if it's inappropriate by making sure that you do as much as you need to do and not too much. And that you do enough and not too little. So let's come into final rest. Shavasana, allow the integration of whatever was practiced today to find its new home, a new place of strength, a new place of flexibility, whatever was created today. Bringing yourself all the way down onto the ground. Any last minute movements your body wants, do that. And then bringing yourself into final rest, Shavasana, whatever variation you'd like.
Gently begin to deepen your breath. Let your mind go in your body. Start to bring movement into your hands and your feet. And then into your body as you bend your knees, drawing them towards your chest, holding onto your knees and moving your body side to side. Coming onto your side. And from there, pushing yourself up away from the ground into a kneeling or seated position. Sit nice and tall, lift your heart, lengthen your spine. Keep your eyes closed, bring your hands together, rub them together. Generate a lot of heat in your hands. Then bring your hands to your heart, press your hands to your heart. We'll close with sound, a gentle humming sound. Mouth is closed, exhale. Inhale. In gratitude for the practice, for the opportunity to take care of ourselves at this level, we say thank you or namaste. Thank you. Oh boy. So my body feels pretty good. Hope that you're feeling good from this practice.
would love to hear how you're doing. Keeps me informed of, am I on the right track? Great, Michael. Thanks. Yeah, very therapeutic self-care type practice today. Definitely yoga therapy. Lots of yoga therapy today. Not that I don't always teach yoga therapy, but some practices are more therapeutic than others, and this was definitely one of them. All right. I am great. Always on the right, Stevie, meaning that you always have issues on the right. That's what I'm wondering if that's right track. Okay. Yeah, Stevie, and I'm thinking about Scotland. So this is really going to keep us in that place of understanding our structure for, fall prevention and for feeling really secure. All right. Thank you so much. I'm going to prepare for my next class. I will see you next week. Hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining me.